Have you ever wondered what it would be like sipping martinis on a beach in Bali while working on a $10,000 client project? Never having to wake up and face the 7 a.m. traffic or step into an office again. And no longer having to hear the sound of a Teams notification ever. Welcome to the life of a freelance data analyst. Okay, so maybe I've exaggerated a little, but as someone who has worked as a freelance data analyst, it actually is pretty great. You get paid well, get to work on interesting projects on your own terms, and don't have to go into the office every day. If you're watching this video, you probably fall under one of these three categories. One, you already have a job in data analytics and you want to learn to make some side income through freelancing. Or two, you've taken a couple of courses in data analytics, you've done a few side projects, and now you want to learn to make money from this skill. Three, you're just an enthusiast. You've heard about data analytics, you find it interesting, but you don't know if it's a career path worth pursuing. No matter which category you fall into, in this video, I am going to break down to you the role of a freelance data analyst, how you can become one, and whether it is a career path worth pursuing in 2024. Let's get into it. Before we get into what a freelance data analyst does, you need to understand that the role of a data analyst itself is really broad. In some companies, a data analyst could be someone who works with BI tools, someone who just does dashboarding. In another company, a data analyst could be someone who only works in Excel. In my previous role, for example, I used to do a bit of SQL, Python, as well as data storytelling. I was more of a generalist. So what you've got to do is figure out what type of data analyst you are or what type of data analyst you want to be. What are the tools and languages you specialize in? What are the problems that you help companies solve? And I have this entire video explaining what a data analyst is, as well as the different types of data analysts. You can find a link to that video in my description. Now, once you've identified your niche, once you've identified what type of data analyst you want to become, you have to take all of those skills and try to get as good at it as you possibly can. Take courses, practice, get certifications. Certifications are a great way to build credibility, especially if you don't already have a technical degree. And it doesn't have to be expensive. EDX and Coursera allow you to get data analytics certifications for free if you apply for financial aid. So once you have all of the skills that you need, you're going to register onto two platforms, Upwork and Fiverr. Upwork and Fiverr are two of the biggest freelance marketplaces in the world, and how it works is really simple. Employers will just post jobs onto these platforms and you'll apply to them. And you essentially bid for jobs, so you provide a description of your skill set as well as a code. For example, if a job is posted and it is set at $200, since you're a complete beginner, you could bid at $100 or $150. And this will improve your chances of getting hired. So I'm on Upwork now, and I found this data analyst job listing. You can see a description of this role here, and these are your responsibilities. Analyzing large data sets, building dashboards, predictive modeling, and it looks to me like this is a 1 to 3 month contract. So you have to spend about 20 to 30 hours every week working with this company and analyzing their data. And they're willing to pay you around $17 to $50 hourly, which is on the lower end, but it's reasonable if you're just starting out. And then over here, you can see the activity on the job. More than 50 people have applied for this role, and they're currently interviewing 57 people. So all you need to do is learn the skills required to becoming a data analyst, and then go onto platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, apply to jobs, and sit back and wait to get interviewed and hired. That is how platforms like Upwork and Fiverr work. Sounds simple, right? Not really. I'm not gonna lie to you, it is difficult to become a freelancer in 2024, and not just in data analytics, but in almost every field, because the competition has become really tough. Everyone wants to be a freelancer. And with platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, you're facing this chicken and egg problem. No one will give you a job because you're just starting out. You don't have any prior work experience. You don't have reviews. You're not a highly rated freelancer. And the only way to become a highly rated freelancer is to get a job in the first place. And I've been in this situation before. After taking a few courses on programming and SQL, I registered onto Upwork and Fiverr and I started to bid for jobs. And I set my rates so low, so much lower than the market rate, hoping that someone would just give me an opportunity. And all I got in response was radio silence. And while the immediate reaction is to blame employers for not giving you a chance, look at it from their point of view. Wouldn't you want to hire someone with a proven track record of success? Someone with referrals and credibility? Someone who you know will get the job done? Having been in a position in which I've reviewed resumes and helped shortlist candidates for jobs, I've come to realize that the hiring process is both time-consuming and expensive. To cut their losses, employers tend to gravitate towards the most promising candidates with a proven track record of success. We now know that to get a freelance job as a data analyst, you need to build credibility. People need to trust that you can get the job done. But how can you build credibility when you have no prior work experience, no referrals, and no strong educational background? The answer? An online presence. This is Daniel Burke. He is an inspiration to me. I used to follow his career closely and try to replicate it. Daniel used to work as a part-time Uber driver, and he was also teaching himself data science and machine learning at that time. He would document his learnings through his YouTube channel and blog posts. During his free time, he would build machine learning projects. One day, someone came across Daniel's machine learning articles and YouTube videos. They recommended him to an employer, and he got hired. He got his first internship as a machine learning engineer. He has done freelance work for reputable companies like DataCamp, and at that time, he was making $10,000 from freelance gigs and passive income alone. And that was then. He now has multiple online courses on Udemy where he breaks down complex concepts in a way that is fun and easy to understand. I myself have taken one of his online courses on TensorFlow. To reiterate, Daniel is one of those people who would have been ignored indefinitely on freelance platforms like Upwork and Fiverr. Employers would not have given him a chance because he had no prior work experience. And he is now earning more than the top freelancers on these platforms. Daniel's large breakthrough came from two things: his side projects and his online presence. He built machine learning projects and showcased them on social media. He documented his learning journey on YouTube, and from there, the opportunities just came pouring in. So how can you do what Daniel did? The first thing that you should do is build personal projects. If you have no prior work experience and no technical degree, the best way to showcase what you know is through projects. Build something that tells a story. Build something that you have genuine interest in. If you've just taken a Tableau course, then you should build a dashboard showcasing something that you have genuine interest in. For example, my first ever project was a dashboard showcasing gender disparity in Hollywood because I've always been interested in solving social issues with data. Daniel took a course on bioinformatics on Coursera. Because his friend's son was born deaf, he created a project designed to understand the genetic causes of hearing loss. He then shared all of his code publicly and made a video explaining what he had done. Daniel combined the knowledge that he learned from his course with a person and a topic that he was passionate about, and he created a project that told a story. People love stories. I watched the video on Daniel's project 3 years ago. I still remember it. I've also received countless opportunities because of the projects that I've showcased online. In fact, all of the freelance gigs that I'm working on right now, I've not applied to one of them. I've had employers reach out to me after finding my work online. Which leads me to my next point. Promote your work. How will people know what you're capable of if you don't show them? After creating a project, promote it everywhere. Post about it on LinkedIn. Write articles about it on Medium and Substack. Create a YouTube channel like Daniel did. This article on a data analysis project got me a client I've been working with for almost 3 years now. This article got me my first ever freelance client. These freelance clients were people who lived all over the world. I would have never met or interacted with any of these people if not for my projects. The only reason they found me was because I spent so much time building my online presence. I optimized my website, posted frequently on LinkedIn, and wrote articles about all of my projects. Back in 2020, I created my first data analytics project on gender disparity in Hollywood. I wrote an article about it, and then I sat back and waited, and nothing happened. That article got a total of 10 views, and one person liked it. That one person was my dad. It took me a total of 5 projects, 20 failed attempts, and 50 social media posts to even have an employer notice me. But once I got my first freelance gig, everything became so much easier. My employer gave me a recommendation, my visibility on sites like Upwork and Fiverr started improving as I got more roles. And it got to a point at which I no longer had to apply to freelance jobs, and I was just waiting for employers to reach out to me instead. I was able to be picky about the types of jobs and the rates that I was accepting. And now, although I'm slowly moving away from freelancing, I still have employers reaching out to me on Upwork asking me to interview for data-related jobs. And that's because I have a profile that's still being shown to potential employers. I have past projects and previous work that's on the internet that's being shown to people because I decided to put it there 3 years ago. If you're anything like me, you're probably the kind of person who watches YouTube video after YouTube video but never end up getting anything done yourself. And that's not your fault. It is always easier to talk and think about doing things than it is to actually do them yourself. But you came here and decided to watch this video because you want to upskill, you want to make more money, and you want to make 2024 a great year. And I'm going to have to hold you accountable to that. So here are 3 things that you're going to do after watching this video. Firstly, you're going to write down what your goals are for 2024. What do you want to achieve? Do you want to become a freelance data analyst and get 10 clients? Do you want a full-time job in the field? Whatever your goal is, write it down. 2, I want you to break this goal down into smaller, more attainable goals. For example, if your larger goal is to become a freelance data analyst, then your smaller goal would be to do 2 projects this quarter. Upskill by taking an online course. Create a social media presence and network with other professionals in the field. This process is called chunking, and it makes your larger goals more attainable by dividing them into smaller, actionable goals. 3, I want you to do something that will bring you a step closer to your goal. Today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. And it doesn't even have to be anything big. For example, if your bigger goal is to become a data analyst, all you need to do is go onto Coursera, find a course that aligns with what you'd like to learn, and add it to cart. You don't even have to buy it. The action of adding it to your cart alone will motivate you to start. Or go onto LinkedIn or Instagram. Find 10 people who have a career that aligns with what you want to become and follow them. This way, every time you open your phone and see their posts, you will be motivated to work towards the career that you want to have. And that's it. And I know that it's a long journey. I know that it can be tiring to even hear about the number of things that you've got to learn and do. But just keep taking small steps towards your goal and eventually you'll get there. Let's make 2024 our best year so far. And that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do like it. Also do subscribe to my channel and I will see you in the next one.